And right now, we're going to have a discussion on, in general, diet and nutrition. And we're going to teach you many aspects of dietary practices that are very health-giving for any challenge that you may be facing, whether it's cancer, diabetes, hypertension, obesity, or what have you, or you just want a good preventive health program. So, in our discussion of diet and nutrition therapy, I want to first discuss the benefits of eating a live foods diet, a raw food diet. Yes, we're going to talk about a major secret to great health: increased longevity, enhanced sexual potency, improved digestion, and mental clarity. And most notably, how to advance your health and reduce your chances of contracting the current American epidemic of degenerative diseases. While the creation of health or disease has many causative factors, my experience as a medical doctor, healer, and family man with children has been borne out that eating a live food and raw diet can and will have a dramatically positive effect on your health, effectiveness, and happiness. To digress just for a brief moment, I just want to remind us all of America's scorecard on the current, not so well publicized epidemic of chronic diseases. We have over a $1 trillion health bill. $1 trillion is spent on healthcare in this country per year. More than 50% of Americans develop heart and artery disease, spending $259 billion, and approximately 50% of Americans by the age of 75 will develop some form of cancer, $200 billion cost. Increasingly, more and more American families are being affected by asthma, arthritis, uterine fibroids, fibrocystic breast disease, Alzheimer's, diabetes, digestive disorders, depression, bronchitis, chronic fatigue, autoimmune disorders like lupus, as well as PMS, prostatitis, vaginitis, impotency, etc. And the list goes on and on, because our society is virtually endless with illnesses. Yes, my friends, I want to tell you that eating a live, raw food diet is a major step in reclaiming our natural God-given right to health. Now, what we're talking about is drastically increasing the amount of live and raw foods in your current diet. Some people may go all the way to a live raw foods diet, as I have myself. However, for the vast majority of people, just increasing the amount of live and raw foods in the diet will dramatically increase your health. Consider that humans and animals have evolved magnificently over millions of years without microwave ovens, electric ranges, and crock pots, or even fire. Our ancestors did not have Campbell's soup, Kraft macaroni and cheese, Big Macs, or pasteurized milk on the menu. Judging from the fossil records, they also did not suffer the physical deterioration and breakdowns we experience on a processed, refined, and cooked food diet. Also, consider that every living organism on the planet is 100% live raw eater. Not 99%, not 70%, not 50%, but 100% live raw eater. There's only one organism that tampers with its food, and that's us, the human beings. We are the only animals on the planet that decided to cook our food. Also, you may ask, why does the body function so much better on a fresh food diet, and what does cooking and processing actually do to the nutritional value of the food? First of all, heating food beyond 110 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit destroys the enzymes that all foods contain. These enzymes help us to pre-digest our foods and thus avoid having to manufacture these enzymes. If you have to manufacture these enzymes, this robs the body of energy, reducing our capacity to manufacture enzymes for other vital functions, including maintaining our immune system. Secondly, heating foods destroy many vitamins that were originally present. Vitamins in the form of a pill are a poor substitute for the real thing, because there's a lot of things we may not even know the food has in it that are destroyed. Heat processing reduces the oxygen that is available in fresh food. And we need oxygen to resist disease. Many physicians now consider that cancer and AIDS-causing viruses thrive in the low oxygen levels in blood and in the cells of people not in good health. Fresh foods contain hydrogen peroxide, which provides oxygen to kill these viruses. Eating heat-processed foods trigger a massive release of white cells in our body, a similar response that happens when we have an infection or are poisoned. Fresh, uncooked foods do not cause such a reaction. While there is no consensus on why this occurs, it is clearly not a natural reaction. It reduces our immune system's capacity to sustain optimum health when it continually is preoccupied with fighting off cooked and processed foods. One possible theory is that the proteins in uncooked food may be arranged very orderly, such as my hands, and when you cook it, it snarls it up like this, such that some of these molecules of protein may be absorbed and misrecognized as an invader, thereby causing the white blood cells to increase. Another thing to consider about raw foods is that when we cook foods, up to 87% of the nutrients can be destroyed. It becomes 87% less efficient than eating raw foods. And we can't afford that as a planet. In fact, the whole planet would change if people increased or went back to the original diet. And remember, it's not being converted into a raw food eater. We are naturally raw foods eaters. Eating cooked food is rather unnatural when you look at it that way. So, also consider the eating of what we call wild foods or foods that weren't cultured so much. Because when we eat a lot of even grains, actually, that have fields that have to be grown on, that's not the same as eating the foods our ancestors ate, going into woods and eating wild edible plants and etc. So it's a big bridge it's a big spectrum of eating raw foods, even among raw food eaters. So we want to just summarize and say that if you want to really benefit yourself in health, you're going to increase the raw foods in your diet to at least 65 to 75%. Right now, I just want to refer you to our handout called Raw Food Preparation Books. And what you have here is a list of books dedicated to eating raw food. And there are really hundreds of books and videos available. There are websites on this particular handout that you can go to your computer on. Also, there's a 1-800 number that if you call, you can get Nature's First Law catalog that has many, many books, videos, and much help and support for eating a healthier diet in general and a raw foods diet in particular. Also, there are books, many, many books. This is just one of them, the Uncooked book. And like I said, there are hundreds of books available, and I suggest that you study the websites, the books, and the sheets for further information. Now I would like to talk about a more broad aspect of diet and nutrition. First of all, we have to have a comprehensive awareness and consciousness of diet and nutrition in general, besides just eating raw, because this is crucial to bringing about improvement in any type of health crisis, either being acute, chronic, or degenerative. Unfortunately, since modern science and the Industrial Revolution era, our food quality, value, and health building maintaining has been greatly diminished. There is, of course, a direct correlation between food and health. It is nutrition which sustains us, and it is our food which nourishes us or can destroy us. So what is nutrition? Nutrition is the sum total of the processes involved in the taking in and utilization of food substances by which growth, repair, and maintenance of an organism or body can occur. And nutrition includes ingestion, digestion, absorption, and metabolism. Nutrition is not only responsible for the rebuilding of damaged tissues, but also in the correction of the disease state. All genuine authorities are now agreed on the relationship of diet, nutrition, and health or disease. At this point, it is highly recommended that you maximize your nutrition and avoid as much as possible commercially grown food which may be directly harmful to your health due to preservatives, insecticides, fungicides, herbicides, rodenticides, keeping away rodents, steroids, antibiotics, dyes, and environmental pollution, and more. Such food production methods may seriously damage the food, which in turn can have significant deleterious effects on your own health. The following are recommendations to maximize your nutrition. So, we want you to listen very carefully. Now, first of all, we recommend eating an unsalted, very low-fat diet of organically grown fruits, vegetables, seeds, nuts, grains. 75% of your diet should be comprised of organic fruits and vegetables altered as little as possible, much of it raw and prepared fresh. You may want to refer to the raw food preparation guidelines. So that 75% of your diet at least should be comprised of raw. Use fresh organic fruits and vegetables only. No canned, boxed, bagged, or frozen. These are dead, contain no enzymes, and their minerals and vitamins may not be absorbed well. Make sure you study the Food Combining handout and book, the Food Combining Simplified book, and also study the Keys handout, the Keys to Health. Eat as much live fresh food as possible. See the live foods recipes in the food preparation and uncooked books. Please intelligently avoid all additives, including emulsifiers, preservatives, colors, artificial flavors, and even when they're labeled naturally, many times an intentionally deceptive term. Follow our Keys to Health guideline, video, and handout. I just want to talk briefly about the preparation of vegetables. So we're going to talk about preparation of vegetables. First of all, when you cook, please use no or very little fats, including oil and vegetable oil, etc. All vegetables must be cooked slowly over a low flame with little or no addition of water. The slow cooking process is very important in order to preserve the natural flavor of the vegetables and keep them easily digestible. All vegetables should be done or tender, but yet retain a crispness still, indicating that it hasn't totally been killed. Valuable components are lost in fast cooking by excessive heat, because the cells burst, minerals go out of their colloidal composition and become more difficult to be absorbed. Tomatoes, leeks, and onions should be stewed in their own juices as they contain an abundance of fluid by themselves. Red beets should be cooked like potatoes in their peel in water. All vegetables must be carefully washed and cleaned. Peeling or scraping is forbidden because important minerals, salts, and vitamins are deposited directly under the skin. The pot, not aluminum, must close tightly to prevent the escape of steam. Don't use pressure cooking pots. Lids must be heavy and fit well into the pot, however. Cooked foods must be kept in the refrigerator, may be kept in the refrigerator for up to 48 hours. Baked vegetables should be cooked slow in a low oven, 180 to 190 degrees. Use oven thermometer to determine this. Maybe for 2 to 2.5 hours. And you can cover it with a tightly fitting lid in a casserole dish. This method of baking is virtually waterless. Use onions, tomatoes, or sprinkle vegetables with lemon to add moisture when necessary. Stewed vegetables are cooked in a heavy pot with tightly fitting lid on top of the stove over a low flame, slowly with little or no added liquid. Simmered vegetables are cooked on top of the stove over a low to medium flame in a tightly covered lid with a small amount of liquid. The temperature is kept just at the boiling point. Tightly fitting lids, saucepans must be covered tightly to prevent steam from escaping. Covers must be heavy and close fitting. You may have to place wax paper under the lid to aid in sealing the steam. In grains, in general, just talking about grains, you want to avoid eating breads unless they are sprouted as much as possible, because breads are constipating, highly cooked, and hard to digest and assimilate. It is highly recommended that you concentrate on eating non-glutinous, non-mucus-forming, high-protein grains, specifically millet, quinoa, that's spelled Q-U-N-N-O-A, so millet, quinoa, buckwheat, and amaranth. Use these grains instead of wheat and rice as much, to which people have allergic reactions. Soak all grains for 12 hours to begin the sprouting process and release enzyme inhibitors. The soaking will improve your digestion tremendously and greatly reduce cooking time. See the body ecology recipes in the book, Body Ecology by Donna Gates. Now let's talk about beans and sprouts. Use sprouts abundantly in salads like alfalfa, sunflower, buckwheat, radish, lentil, peas, mung, etc. These contain high-quality protein, vitamins, colloidal minerals, digestive enzymes, and life force. Soak all beans to be cooked for 12 hours. Highly recommended are soybeans, which are anti-cancer, red beans, lentils, chickpeas, and black beans. As with grains, again, this soaking will greatly enhance the digestion and reduce cooking time. The best way to cook beans is to steam them for about 20 minutes or so until tender. The steaming method will preserve their nutrients and integrity. Also, with cooking with water in a pot, make sure that you use tightly fitting lids. And cookware must be stainless steel, Pyrex, Corningware, etc. Absolutely no aluminum, absolutely no talc or any other commercially manufactured non-stick surface. You must not use tap water. There may be 70,000 recognized contaminants in your tap water, ranging from industrial or agricultural waste to heavy metals and radon. Microbes are also known to flow from household taps. Recommended books include Eating Light for Survival, Survival into the 21st Century, Body Ecology Diet, Uncooked Book, Cookbook for People Who Love Animals, Live Food Recipes by Aris Latam, and the Gerson Primer. So, we were discussion of diet and nutrition and healing. So, read books, continue to study, and best of luck and speed in your health, recovery, and maintenance of the disease-free state.